Hi all, I'm Nicole. I recently joined the .NET Foundation in a community manager capacity. I'm excited to get started in the role by bringing you the interviews for the board candidates. Hi there, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Kevin Avignon. I'm a software engineer graduate from Montreal, Canada. I graduated in 2017. It was a co-op program, so all the internship I did and all the work I've done ever since has been focused in .NET. So I've been in .NET for the past 7 years or so. In my career, I've had the chance to solve problems for companies, such as allowing a company to observe their performance of their desktop application through custom tools I created with C# and PowerShell. I also had the chance to create a browsing library for developers to understand how to better use LINQ and their data structures. In the past few years, I've been focused really on F# and functional programming, and I've fallen in love completely with it. Right now, I had the chance to lead a few projects with it, give a few tech presentation and .NET meetups. I'm currently sitting actually as a member of the board of trustees for the F# Software Foundation. Ever since last year, I've been leading the mentorship program, and I'm currently helping improving how we pair developers together for mentor to mentee relationships.
Great. All candidates are going to be asked, All candidates are going to be asked the same 5 questions. These questions come from a survey that was sent out via Slack by the nomination committee. If you have any questions for the candidates, please tweet them to the official .NET Twitter handle. Let's jump in. What excites you about the future of the .NET ecosystem?
So there's a lot that excites me because I've been in .NET for a very long time. Well, it feels like a long time for me because my entire career has been focused on .NET, but for people who have been in the tech industry for 20 years, maybe a bit less, but let's focus more about my career. I feel that ever since we moved to .NET Core, the community has increasingly grown, and I really like it. It's bringing a lot of interesting new advances, such as like the benchmark.net library that I've been grown to like to see what I've been doing right or wrong for micro benchmarking. Recently, there's been the .NET 6 performance improvement have been released, and you can kind of see how much care that the community is putting, what sort of things that people are working on, and that really do sound fun. As I mentioned earlier, I've been using Rustling that allows you to kind of investigate what's going on underneath in the C# code or VB code. I found it's a very interesting technology. Why? Because I like knowing what's going on and how I can do things better, and having automation that tells me how I can do that better always feels more objective than having someone tell me, although I have nothing against human feedback. One more important thing that you should know about me is what excites me about .NET is also what we get those .NET focused days. For people who don't have a lot of time to dive in, look at the tech or create side projects, it's actually like a full 1 or 2 packed days that I get the chance to look at what's going on and what sort of thing I could, if I had more time, spend more time in. So when I see this, I see that the future of .NET is rich, and it's just going to get brighter with time.
Great. What role do you think the .NET Foundation can play to inspire more confidence in .NET?
Yeah, okay. I think a lot of energy should be spent towards education. What we could do is provide spaces where students and developers can quickly learn and dive deeper in specific technologies and or topics. They'll see how much care that there is in the Microsoft technologies. It's been there for a very long time. There's a lot of room to grow in specific branches of technologies like web development, gaming with Unity, ASP.NET Core. There's MyOE that's going to come in. That's actually here. That's getting just better and better over time. One thing I can also think about is I see right on some of the website of the .NET Foundation that we promote events to come. So that's great because we the speakers get the chance to have more people attending to their venue, and that allows you the chance to say, okay, well, I'm not going to scream into the void. There's actually going to be people coming in. One thing that we could do to inspire more confidence could be also to do the same with popular blogs on .NET topics. So people that take the time to write blog posts we could also have them somewhere on the page of the .NET Foundation. Like they could be starred somewhere, maybe like on a weekly or monthly basis.
I'm going to make a note of that. How can the .NET Foundation help open source projects be more successful and gain credibility?
All right, it's an interesting question for me. OSS can definitely be something difficult to maintain over time because at first it's very exciting, it's new. Over time, once you've worked out the quirks of a project, you might think about working on something else, but then there's the community that looks at the project and say, hey, you know what, it's very interesting and I'm going to use it for work. But then as you have more work to do for new features or maintenance, just this sort of slow burn that occurs. And one thing that could be good to help gain more popularity and make them more successful could be there could be some sort of a gamified system where people that contribute to your project could get some reward. Maybe, I don't know what sort of rewards could be. Maybe some swag, maybe if you get some points, you can maybe get something. I don't know what just yet. It's just an idea that I have. For the popular contributors, there could be some cash given for projects that are used in companies. Could be an idea.
What can the .NET Foundation do around education and the adoption of .NET?
It's also, I like that your questions are based on education. As I've mentioned before, I'm leading the mentorship program at the foundation I'm leading called the F# Software Foundation. It's a foundation that's there to nurture the F# community and help it grow, see what it can do to shape the community and see if there's specific things like the mentorship program that we can do to help people learn about F# and dive deeper into the language. That's what we're doing. I also saw on your website that there is this 12 weeks initiative for computer science students where they can learn more about C# and .NET. And the idea that I had was that idea is great. And at the F# Software Foundation, we have that mentorship program that occurs twice a year, once in the winter and once in the fall. So I was thinking maybe what we could do for adoption could be, let's start thinking about running a mentorship program for students and developers where it could happen once a year. And once we got the details down and it feels like a rock solid program initiative, we can make it happen maybe twice a year or 4 times a year, or at whichever frequency we feel that it's best.
Awesome. What are some things you would do right away if you joined the .NET board?
If I could, I would work on that mentorship and bring on what I've learned from the F# Foundation. Another idea that could be great would be creating a platform where, remember I was talking about starring people that blog popular blogs or posts. We could create a platform where those who blog about .NET can be easily discovered and followed. A little bit like some sort of like a platform for blog for Twitter, or Twitter for blogs. This way, writers get recognition for the hard work that they have to do, and readers get a place where they can easily find their writers and see what they're writing about. For instance, I have a tech blog, which I mostly write about .NET. So it could be a great place for my blog to get more discovered over time.
Great. And touching on that, where can people find you on socials?
They can find me on Twitter at KAVIGNON. They can also find me under the same handle on GitHub. I can also be found on Stack Overflow for any purposes, and also LinkedIn.
Great. Thank you for joining me today.
All right. Thank you for inviting me.